Welcome back. This is In Black America Radio with your host, Rasta B. It's Friday, and today's topic is going to be pretty interesting. Today is February 3rd. This is In Black America Radio. Guest calling number 646-716-4654. This topic is going to be interesting. The title of this show is called Trump Black History Meeting and the Dangerous Game the Media is Playing with Chicago. Now, I'm just going to let that simmer. I'm gonna let that one simmer. My co-host may or may not call in today. We'll see. He's having something going and it's personal, and that would be that, or maybe not. Smoke, are you there?
Yo.
All right. Yeah, I thought I was going to flying this plane by myself. What's going on, Smoke?
Shit, man. Just really getting stable for the show or whatever, but, a little hectic day, but, it is what it is and shit.
Hey, went through that. Shit, man, how your week been going?
Shit, the normal week and shit, Pop Dukes is in the hospital, so, that kind of, changed up the week or whatever, but, he'll be all right, you know what I'm saying, in that sense, but, other than that, it's just been a normal week, just checking the news and, seeing what your boy Trump is up to, what type of shake up he trying to create, going in his first, what is it, day 15 or something like that now, day 13.
Yeah. Yo, this dude did so much shit in 2 or 3 weeks or whatever. It seemed like he was there for 2 years already. It's damn, slow down. God,
he's killing him.
Nigga jumped in the car. Looking like he just jumped his first time in a Lambo or some shit, and he just hit the gas. And that shit said, wham! God damn, slow down, man. It's an easy man. This nigga, -1.
Yeah, my son been in the corners, yo. Real talk.
Shit crazy, man. Yeah, man. Man. My situation crazy on this side right here, boy. I just took a peek at that water bill.
Hey.
That shit looking like a stack.
Oh.
And so that's
the numbers, boy.
Drop.
The numbers on the board, man. Shit.
Yay. Yeah, man. I'm gonna have to see how the negative. Yeah, boy. When I seen that shit, I was like, right, okay, cool.
It's just something else to deal with. Here we go.
Sometimes that's what makes life fun, you know what I'm saying? Conquering these little battles, you know what I mean? And then he smoke a spliff and laugh at it later, you know what I mean? Sometimes that's how that should be.
Yeah.
That's how we look at it.
That's all you can do.
Hey.
That's all you can do.
That's it. Hey, I heard a rumor. So I want to ask you about it since I know you be following the Bobby Smurder case.
Okay.
I seen something where someone said that Bobby Smurder got convicted of the shank and got it to another 4.
Yeah, it's
So that
supposed
means
to.
what time they're routing?
Well, what they supposed to do, which they were saying in the beginning, was that they're gonna run it concurrent with his sentence now.
Oh.
So pretty much he ain't gonna be able to get out in less than whatever the lower case is. So I think they said they was adding 3 years to it or something like that. 3 or 4. Well, you know, he getting convicted for it's either 3 or 4 years. So that's gonna run within the 7-year sentence he got already. So you know what I'm saying? It ain't necessarily gonna push him over the 7, but you know he can't go home less than 3. You know what I'm saying? So. Yeah, I saw that earlier today. Like his old lady, one of his old ladies or whatever was came and visit him and passed him the shank. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't see where she got jammed up. So I guess that's good for her. But yeah, they got Bobby again though.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy.
Get lost in the fucking jail. But I'm telling you. And you know his moms was saying
they got another.
His moms was saying that he's subject. His moms was kind of like talking about it, saying that he had to shank. He getting shanks and shit because he getting his ass kicked in there. Like you know what I'm saying, subject to the fucking COs and shit. Roughing them up and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's true. I mean. Yo, I tell you, niggas want to do all that tough shit and they fighters and all that shit. Man, when it gets down to you got to get through them levels, ranking up into that thug shit, and you got to go through them different tiers and levels of that fucking correctional system. Hey, shit, nigga. If you dedicated to that shit, then you dedicated to that shit. But if you pussyfooting around, nigga, they gonna chew you up. That's the motherfucker that's like, I don't care if I live in jail. I don't care about nothing. They put their life away to the street. They don't care about that. But them people that's doing that shit for fashion, style and fashion and shit, it's like, yo, just stay away from that shit, man, because that shit just there to chew you up. And you got to be really fucked up in your head, you know what I'm saying, numb to it all, empty inside to be able to just deal with that shit. You know what I mean? And just eat it. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck out of here, man. Fuck out of here. And that's a young nigga. And they giving them niggas fucking fuck fruit. Yo. So that's how that thing gonna tie in. I don't even, because we're gonna use New York a whole lot for really the title of the show. You know what I'm saying? But
okay.
Yeah, man.
They ran through that whole GS9 clique, man. They ran through them.
Yeah.
Boys,
now, what I would suggest, all them niggas with them big numbers, y'all hit that law library, y'all go over y'all cases and shit like that. Appeal. That's what them lawyers for. Appeal. Look for all kind of different little, just like the Chaz Williams dude did. You know what I'm saying? Where he got his 98 all the way down so he walked. You know what I'm saying? Do the same shit, because you got to always look at it like this. This is a racist-ass cracker system. So the good thing about a racist-ass cracker system, they will lie to lock your black ass up. So all you got to do is all they're going to do is get another higher judge to look over the case. Oh, you know what? Okay, before I go too deep into this. So they got a Chicago rapper named Little J. So this nigga, he gonna be going to trial soon, right? Like in May. They saying it's for May, but he's saying they probably isn't gonna. They playing games with them little niggas out in Chicago. So they like so the nigga already did 2 years in jail. They like, yo, they'll give him he could plead out 8, and he only got to do half, so he'll just be in there for 2 more years, guaranteed, before he get out. But he ain't trying to do that. He already did 2, so he expecting them to give that if he do get found guilty, then he probably only get 4. Do half. Right. That's 2. He already did that. He walked. He breaking down the math. You know what I'm saying? Of that shit, which is fucking hilarious to me. How we could break down math of bullshit, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? But we can't. We got to. I'm not even going to call it bullshit because that's the situation you're in. You have to know that. So I'm not going to call it bullshit. What I'm going to say is the same way you could break down jail, prison, crime, charges, and other ways to beat the system, literally, that same energy you have to do that, flip that shit around, and that is the same energy that you use to stand up tall as a man in the system as you build an economy or starting a business or using your that same energy to then generate money. You see what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to just keep fighting to get, like, tussling with the system and getting out of it. No, break away and run from that fucking system so you ain't even got to tussle with it, and then you can use that energy to make money. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just exhausting after a while. But the nigga, damn, he was breaking the shit down, and then he was like, so the guy interviewing him, I think it was like Say Cheese TV or some shit. So they was like, he like, no, it wasn't Say Cheese TV. It was another, I think it was another internet channel that was covering what Say TV said after that interview. So the nigga like, oh man, he's stupid. Why wouldn't? Damn, wait, did he say that? Or was it Say Cheese? I can't remember, but whatever the case was, the conversation was that the people kept saying, man, you mean you're not scared? Like, look what they did to Rowdy, to the Bobby Smurder. Like, they using them as an example. And they like, yo, look what they did to them, the Bobby Smurder and all them dudes. They gave them 117 and all kind of stuff like that. He was like, so you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not scared? Like, maybe that might happen to you. Like, maybe you should plead out. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm listening to the guy doing the commentary, and he like, yeah, see, niggas are stupid. He should have just pleaded out for the 8 and just did 2 more years. See what the government doing? They're like, don't play with me. We're not going to waste the taxpayers' money, so we're going to give you this time so you can do this. But if you want to play with me, then go to trial if you want, and then we're going to punish you. And I'm like, no, nigga. That's not how the court system works. That's your constitutional right to be found guilty by your fucking peers. And I'm like, wow, these kids don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They're really unprepared for this new America that they're about to walk into.
Yeah,
like when I heard him say that,
Shorty was, that's what Shorty was speaking about on the 13th. And I don't mean to call her Shorty because I can't recall her name. The producer of the 13th, and they was talking about how the conviction rate was so high because the cases, they plead out. They don't actually go to trial. So that's all part of the mind frame that they want you to have when you in there, jammed up. Plead out. That's the guaranteed time we're gonna give you. Bang, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. We don't gotta waste time, you know what I'm saying? Which the time wasted could be you walking away from it. You know what I'm saying? The time that they telling you is being wasted in taxpayer dollars could be you walking out of the jail, you know what I'm saying, by fighting your case. So that's the thought process.
Here's the question. But this is the funny thing about the whole shit. This is how powerful the concept is when niggas be like, yo, your eyes is open or your eyes is closed, stay woke and all kind of shit like that. That shit sound like slogans and shit, but nah, that movie, They Live, is real. Put them glasses on so you can see what it really is. Because as niggas plead out to eat that time, you never see these crackers pleading out. They get the fucking white boy. I'm gonna make up. This is a made up story. They get the damn white boy or the white girl or whatever. They're found after cooking their babies in the oven, eating them with gravy and shit. Police took a picture and a video of them doing the whole shit. Them niggas going to trial still. You ever notice that? You don't see no shit. These niggas not pleading.
Yeah.
I'm out here. Live that with the Rob Harris. No, look at Rob Harris with the child baby, the baby in the car shit. That nigga went to trial.
Look at Michael Slager, who shot who killed the cop who killed my man in Charleston. Damn, I can't think of nobody's name right now. But the cop Michael Slager. That's why you go to trial. He went to trial. He's guilty. You got video evidence. You got all this evidence, and it goes to a mistrial because you have one juror who's like, nah, I'm not feeling it. You know what I'm saying? So it's no advantage. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's like even in cases where it's obvious, you're supposed to go to trial. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like shit. That's your option. That's always your option. And they not teaching these boys
an option. It's definitely an option.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's your option. That's your right. You're not supposed to avoid that option. And these niggas will sit over here and tell you that, nah, fuck out of here. That's crazy.
Especially mad questionable things. It's like you can understand that you dead to rights or whatever. You like, well, shit, I'm dead to rights. But you see a lot of questionable shit where it's like, damn, son, you ain't fight that? You didn't fight that?
Yeah.
He said you did that. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
How they gonna prove that?
And we in a
racist
society. Think about how now. So I just showed you that how we'll plead out, and then I showed you how they'll take all that shit to court. And watch this. This is a racist ass society. We'll walk around here and we'll goddamn complain about racism and going to the stores getting followed and shit, and people doing all this racist shit, but don't sue. Or we'll sue for pennies or some shit. And I'm like, nigga, you supposed to be getting these niggas in. Like, fuck it. Make a big deal and holler, you know what I'm saying? Like, but we gotta be smarter, you know what I'm saying? But shit, let's go on to this shit. Guest calling number 646-716-4654 in Black America Radio. Trump, Black History meeting, and the dangerous game the media is playing with Chicago. So did you see the Black History meeting?
Yeah, with Trump and
you seen it?
All the clip or whatever. I ain't see all of it, you know what I'm saying? I just been peeping little bits and pieces and articles and shit about it or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I seen that shit, man. And the thing that I found interesting about it was the media reaction to it. I didn't like I said, black people, man, we got to stop following the ideologies of liberal white people. They're not your friends. I'm listening to the joint, right, Smoke? He's inside there. It's Black History Month now. This white president now is surrounded by all these black people, right? Omarosa, all these educated black people from black, historically black schools, right? Now I'm gonna kick myself in the ass because I don't got the paperwork on me. It's upstairs, right? But what I should be doing right now is reading off from that the Urban National League's the Urban National League's grade for Barack Obama. Remember when I was talking about that?
Yeah, the presidential, the presidential rating with the ratings on it.
Yeah, the rating.
Right.
They
pool rating.
Wasn't one of the stuff on there was they gave money to the HBCUs, but the HBCUs were never able to get it or some shit.
Yeah, I remember that point because I forgot how many millions he approved to it. Damn, let me see if I can pull that joint up real quick. You know I'm on the phone.
Yeah, that's upstairs, so I ain't feel like really running up right now. I know it's in the previous show we spoke on it, but the point is, as you look for it, they're up there now fighting to get, not fighting, but you understand what I'm saying, like lobbying or whatever to get more funding for the HBCUs. Then that's when they start speaking on, their support of Trump or whatever like that and the things that they're trying to get. And then that's when you had the situation with the pastor Daryl Scott, where he made the comment to Omarosa. So his comment was, first he told Omarosa, he said, because it started with him saying, now Omarosa, I told you if I get the opportunity, I would say this. So I'm going to use this opportunity to say it. And then Donald Trump was saying, yes, like, okay, what is it? So then he was like talking about how he spoke to the top thug niggas of Chicago. Right?
I saw that.
I bet I'm pretty unnecessary.
What was the name that it was under, the company that it was under? Not the NAACP.
No, it's the National Urban League.
Yeah, Urban League.
Urban League, something Urban League.
Right, I know. I got you now.
Yeah, it might be NUL.org or something like that. I think it was National Urban League. Yeah, but he was like, they came to him to talk to him or whatever like that, and was saying like, yo, if they stop the, lower the body count, then they can have a discussion about bringing social programs in or whatever like that. So Donald Trump turns around and says, you know what? I think I have the exact quote. But he turns around and he says, yeah, basically, yo, because if y'all don't do it, we going to come in and we going to handle that shit. You know what I'm saying? Let me get the exact quote if I can find it. Yeah, but he pretty much said, yeah, if y'all don't, shit, we going to come in and we going to, oh, yeah, he said after years, he said he'd been in contact with gang leaders in Chicago who told him that they're going to commit that if they lower the body count, we come and do something some social program. Trump responded, if they're not going to solve the problems, what you're doing is if you're not going to solve the problems, what you're doing is the right thing, then we're going to solve the problem for them. Because we're going to have to do something about Chicago. Because what's happening in Chicago should not be happening in this country. So,
and
then the
I found
said
it
they
too.
work with administration. You ever have it?
Yeah, I found it. It was saying that in the scorecard, it gave him an excellent rating for investments in historically black colleges and universities, HBCUs. So it goes on to say, over the past 7 years, the Obama administration has invested more than $4 billion in HBCUs. Federal funding to HBCUs has grown each year since 2009. Through the Higher Education Act, HBCUs received $17 million funding increase this year, the largest increase for a federal strengthening HBCU program in 6 years. So in the same section, which was, this is covering the education section of the ratings that they gave him. And so in the failures, they have the missed opportunities was expansion of higher education agenda. So it goes on to say the administration missed opportunities to drive more expansive higher education agenda that creates a holistic approach to college access, affordability, and completion for both traditional and non-traditional students. So he threw the bread to them, but didn't really create a structure for them to get to the money. Because, if you can't afford it, if the money's there and the students can't afford it, it's like, what is it? And, if you've been watching HBCUs, just say like over the last decade, there's been so much turmoil, so much, corruption, presidents stealing money and so forth. In our area is South Carolina State. And, that school lost accreditation a bunch of times, or maybe at least once or twice, over the time period of that. From when I was going to school in that area, from that they had all type of corruption issues, people stealing money, right there. So you got to imagine that, if it's happening there, that's happening at pretty much nationwide at the HBCUs, and I mean, you can find all the stories of
that's all
schools
that's cool too, but the point of all of that was just to show that what he did. He allocated the money, but they couldn't get out there and get it. You know what I'm saying? So now they out here now, particularly for the Trump administration, to do the same thing. Now, people ask the question. Now, I've seen a lot of backlash because in the beginning of the same meeting, everybody screamed what? Oh, Trump didn't know about, he thinks Frederick Douglass is still alive and all kind of stuff, and only thing he know about Black history is slavery, and I don't give a fuck about what white people know and don't know about Black history. The only people that need to know about Black history is Black people. That's it, huh?
That's it. That ain't his job. That ain't his job.
Yeah, who gives a fuck if you know anything about Black history? It's our job is to rebuild. See, everything that I'm saying, I said that. If Trump wins and everything that's happening now, I already said this shit, right? We got to get it. That's why we cannot look at these liberal white people as your friend. Because why would your friend not want you to build yourself up? Think about that. Why your friend don't want you to build yourself up? Why these good white people don't want you to have the economy? Why these good white people don't want you to stand up on your own feet? Like, that shit we don't even see that shit. We over here fighting to have more money on welfare instead of trying to build a business. You know what I'm saying? Now, I heard the media make a whole mockery about that. I heard them laugh about Ben Carson being head of HUD. These are supposed to be Black people that's supposed to be wanting to do better in the Black community. You see what I'm saying? These people don't give a fuck about the Black community. So then, after that, I guess the puppet master said, hey, look, there's more details on this thing. All right. So I'm like, there must be more detail on the, there's more detail on the, on this tape, so let's talk about what this Black guy said over here. Now, that's going to be new news. That's why you hear all these news outlets talk about the same shit in one day. That was one tape. So if you've seen the tape and you seen what Trump was saying, why you ain't have an issue with what the pastor said at the same time, at the same day? Because they feed it because it's all a game. And it's a dangerous game the media playing. Now they're going to say what the pastor said, and now they're going to turn around and have him saying, oh no, he didn't mean to say thugs, and it was former gang members and things, and you know how he's downplaying it, but this is what Black people not understanding. We're sitting over here listening to the media play off of this stupid ass shit that they're trying to do. We need social programs, or they need social programs in Chicago. So if they need social programs in Chicago, let's say he made up this story of the Chicago thugs meeting with him, blah, 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 and all of that. Maybe he used that story to pitch to Donald Trump, hoping that would be the key to allow him to allocate some funds where now he can come in and do some good in the community. Now,
hustling.
Me using that example, I'm going to say this real quick, bro. Me using that example, I'm not using that example as saying that's what that particular brother is going to do. I'm using that example to say that's how we need to think when we approach these people. Go inside there with your story, get that grant, get that money from that government, then you come back into the community and you use it to rebuild your community. Go ahead, Smoke. Then I'm going to get into the dangerous game that's being played later.
Yeah. That's real talk, man. You know, it's about strategizing. I mean, a lot you see right now, it's a lot of, like, just overall, just wanting to poke our chests out, you know, for lack of a better expression. You know what I'm saying? It's like a lot of, this ain't my president, and this, we don't got to deal with him. He's racist. And, you know, I get it. It's like, we all know Donald Trump. So it's not like, you know, you want to sit here and advocate for, like, put your arm around Trump. We understand this guy. We know who he is. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's like, instead of so much of the huffing and puffing, you know, you spoke to it. Strategize. Who is it? I mean, you know, that's the part of consciousness. You know what I'm saying? To be able to say, like, okay, I can go in here and I can move in a room of vultures. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's what consciousness is. I know what I can do in here. I don't got to sell myself short to come in here and talk these motherfuckers out of something I need, something that our people need. Well, I mean, that's hustling. We all talk about the hood shit. Like, you know, I'm from the hood. I'm a hustler. You hear this shit all the time, whether it's rapping, TV, whatever. Everybody is a hustler. So what's the difference? You know what I'm saying? Going in. And then it's like, let's prove people to be coons before they, you know, let's just shoot them down as coons. You know what I'm saying? We don't know what they saying in there. We don't know what their agenda is. And we'll find out. Sooner or later, we're going to find out. And then that's when we shoot them down. Let's not make everybody, you know, trying to go in with a meeting as a coon, you know what I'm saying? And again, I get it, you know what I'm saying? Shoot the coons down, you know what I'm saying? Let's put the spotlight on them, but at the same time, it's like,
no, we need to stop that. No, I disagree with that. With shooting the coons down, stop. We need to stop doing that. Stop shooting the goddamn coons down. You need to sit down on your ass and think to yourself, okay, this coon just opened up a fucking door. If this nigga could get up here and talk, what the fuck he did to get up there? Be the spook that sat by the door. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you might have to see that coon and say to yourself, okay, that might be the goddamn costume you got to wear to get in. And then once you get inside there, then do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, because if we start shooting down the coons and shit, what are we going to do? Everybody going to be revealed to who they are? You might need the coon to cover who you are. You know what I'm saying? You like, shit, I don't want nobody to think I'm too pro-black, so let me stand next to fucking, you know, I can't think of nobody else. I dig what you're saying and shit. I dig what you're saying.
Yeah. I dig what you're saying.
Like, use them as tools. Let's turn it to some real black 007.
It's really all about,
you know what I'm saying?
Strategizing. You know what I'm saying? It's really about strategizing and shit like that. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, everybody's not going to be the warrior. Everybody's not going to be this. Everybody's not going to be the business person. But we all got parts to play within it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like a strategy. We know what we got to do. You know what I'm saying? Stay in your lane. Work your lane. Everybody work their lane. We'll be good and shit. You know what I mean? So I dig what you're saying because, I mean, you're seeing that a lot now. A lot more. It's like everybody is a fucking coon and shit. It's like, yo, I feel you know what I'm saying? But, yeah, I can dig that point, though.
Yeah, see, my whole thing that's funny, too, is the fact that the spin, it's like when I watch the media and shit like that, and it's like everybody you see talking and saying the same fucking shit. They're all like, oh, this nigga Trump said this nigga Trump said that, and we all laughing, and this nigga's so stupid, he don't even know this about black shit. Y'all worrying about the wrong shit. Y'all sound like little children, again, little children listening to your parents while they talk grown-up stuff. And y'all running back about listening to the gossip. That's what the media is, the gossip, because you're not paying attention to the grown-up information, right? This is the dangerous game that's being played with Chicago. Trump said, that sounds good, what you're saying. That sounds good. It'll do good. But if it don't, we're going to come in. We're going to fix it. Now let's get back into Bobby Smurda. I never lived in Chicago. I never been to Chicago. I met some people from Chicago. That's when I was hanging out with Bubs, right? He was in the apartment.
Right.
Yeah, and the lady, she's the grandmother, and so she got her grandson, and she had a T-shirt of her son who got killed, and the son, right, and the son got killed. Okay, so she out there, and the kid probably like 7 or some shit like that, or maybe like a 5, maybe or something like that. Yeah, this nigga drinking Still Reserve. I'm like, God damn, what the fuck going on here? She drinking her Still Reserve, and then he'll be like, let me get swig. So then he'll start drinking that shit, but after a while, this nigga looking down, he see a twig on the floor. Hey, Grandma, that's your blood. I'm looking like, what the fuck am I looking at? I'm like, what the fuck am I looking at? Like, yeah, this shit is crazy, man, yeah. So, yeah, those Chicago niggas, yeah, but I never been out there. So I don't know they system. Listening to them Rondo and Little J and all them niggas trials and shit, with them niggas talking and shit, the way they talking and shit, I don't know, yo. They shit might be some 1980s laws or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, they not going to understand what's happening. They might have too many niggas walking around in their community. You know what I'm saying? Like, it may not be a deficit like in other places where the women outdo the men. Maybe it's not like that in Chicago. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But when the government get involved, even though I know that the government done been involved in Chicago, but every 20 years we forget. When the government get involved, it's like a broom, and they sweep, and they're going to take every man out that community. That shit going to be a ghost town. You're going to be hearing, just like how they do in New York, 100 black men at a time arrested. 70-something years. One swoop. 100 and something years. One swoop. Just like they doing them GS boys. Young niggas. 18 years old. 117 years. That's it. That's how them feds do, boy. So
They already going in. They had an update today. I saw on the fake news channel CNN. They were saying that the Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms Commission, that bureau, they're about to send 20 more agents down into the Chicago area, you know, effective immediately. The area currently has 40 agents, and so now they you know, bringing up 50% more. You know, they bring it up to 60 agents. So you know, it's the the move already started. So the ATF or the ATF president or whoever he is, he pretty much said that the move wasn't in a response to Trump, his, I guess you want to say a threat earlier in terms of, bringing in the feds into Chicago, according to him. They saying that wasn't a response to that. Like, they've had this in the works prior to. So, yeah, it's already happening.
Wait. That's how wicked the media is, y'all. And that's how dumb we are. Yo, Smoke, next time I see you, my nigga, yo, watch out, I'm busting at you. And then somebody busts at you and say, yo, them shots was already pre-planned from weeks ago, before that threat. No, ain't no coincidence. You see, that's how they mask their hand. You dig what I'm saying? That's how they mask their hand, and we so fucking naive. They'll sit there and tell you, we're going to send the feds out to Chicago. So when the feds start to go into Chicago, and they like, yo, 50 feds just came to Chicago. Oh, Trump sent in the feds? No. We already was coming to Chicago this day. It was on our calendar for months. We planned this since last year. This have nothing to do with Trump. And you're like, oh, okay, my bad. Whew. I thought y'all came because of Trump. Like, what the fuck is the difference?
Yeah,
Whether they came because of Trump, that's how the media fuck with your head. And that's what I'm saying. They're playing a dangerous game because these liberals and these middle class blacks, they don't give a fuck about the poor. They don't give a fuck about the poor. They will sacrifice Chicago. All you black people in Chicago will be sacrificed for the liberal white and for the black middle class for political gain. Straight up. Come get y'all shit together. Straight up. Straight up.
Sure, talk. The feds
because all of them, because they all laughing. They're laughing. How can you say Trump is a madman, but then laugh at a threat that he's going to send in the feds and do a sweep? And you laugh and pretty much say, that's a political game, and they're going to sacrifice Chicago for that. That's crazy.
Oh, you already know. So a lot of office seats is going to be earned by what happens, by the outcome, in that area. And there's plenty of us out there for them to, pretty much snipe and target and snipe. Gotta get our shit in order, boy. Chicago,
what they was doing, man.
700 plus murders last year, yo. A lot of funerals, a lot of mamas crying.
That's what niggas don't understand. They deport everybody else. Everybody gets deported. But that's what nobody understands. Everybody gets deported in this country. Everybody go back. Everybody go back to their countries. Black people and poor white people, y'all go back to slavery. Everybody goes back in the box.
Think about that.
Once the game's over. We don't get it. This is a capitalistic society, yo. This is a capitalistic society. These are games. You have to wake up and snap out of this fucking illusion that this is a country and God is governing it and this all this. But that's why I be banging on this stupid God shit. You know what I'm saying? Because this shit is a fucking bubble that you in. You know what I'm saying? That you're really hoping, and all of this shit that you believe in, you spinning in a circle. Never to get out this fucking trap. You see what I'm saying? Instead of just realizing that, yo, your feet's on the ground, your hands working, your eyes working, you got to do what you got to do, yo. Time is precious. You see what I'm saying? You can't reverse that motherfucker. You got to make sure every step is correct. Because once you get caught in the trap, it take you longer to get out. And that costs you more time. You see what I'm saying? I might keep saying this. Trump going to get 2 terms, and there's going to be a 3rd term Republican president. These Democrats is in shambles. It baffles me. I'm looking at this jalopy the Democrats try to sell us. This this lemon card they try to sell us. It's a jalopy. They're not strong at all. These Republicans about to do their thing. They're recreating they're restructuring this whole map because they're coming up to another 20 years. They're coming up to another 20 years. That's what we don't get. So they're restructuring the whole situation again. They're building a wall because they're about to fuck up the Mexican economy. They're pushing back the Muslims and shit because they're going to jack that goddamn oil. They're building up their military and shit like that because they're gonna they flexing muscle towards China. China ain't gonna do shit. Why you think Putin and Trump so cool? Look at Russia. Where Russia at? Where China at? Look at where all the military United States is all over the world. China ain't gonna do shit. China just trying to represent who they are because they done got dicked around in history throughout the ages. And they finally getting a little credit, a little clout. So they don't want to get punked, so they're going to try to stand up, but they can't do nothing. This ain't their game. Let me read the Anglo-Saxons viewpoint. Anglo-Saxon supremacy over other European whites, Asian Americans, and African Americans promoted by the sons of the Confederate veterans. This is how their game runs. You have to understand who these people are. You have to understand how these people are. We already know they're warmongers. We can't forget these things. And I feel like a lot of times we forget it. I feel like a lot of times we forget that shit.
You already know, man. That's why we in the position that we in now, because we keep thinking that it's a partnership to be had. It's some type of advantage or something. You know what I'm saying? It's like you see it now, you know, with especially with the, you know, the older generation. You know, it's like, you know, let's find the good white people and work with them. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
yeah,
it ain't a partnership to be had. You know what I'm saying? It's us versus everybody. You know what I mean? If you don't really have that mindset, you're not gonna work for the community and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like you might build yourself up, but it's like that ain't what we need right now, man. There's no partnership.
Let me tell you, there's only two white people. There's only two white people out there. That's the informed and the misinformed. That's it. But now you got to figure out which one that means. Because I always say, if the devil know who he is, what that means. When I hear Tim Wise talking about all the wickedness of the devil, you know, and I'm hearing Greg Polchovic and all that shit talking about white supremacy, I'm like, okay, so what that's supposed to mean? Now you know who you is. Now what? You going to give us some of that change? You going to change laws? Oh, you just going to tell me what I know? Oh, okay. You're weird now. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, what do that mean? You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to hustle my awareness. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I know.
Yeah, like.
I know what we did. Pay $19.99 for this book, and I'll give you the, like, fuck out of here.
Yeah. He wrote a whole book about white privilege. I'm about to purchase this. For what? Like, he just told you about himself. Like, what?
You know what I'm saying? It's like about to eat off of telling y'all about some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo,
yeah, we already know.
I whip Rasta B ass. I'm going to write a book about it, and then Rasta B going to buy that shit.
I'm like, oh,
bro.
shit. I always wanted to know your perspective.
You're like, oh, I don't remember that part. I was kind of woozy.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what happened when I blacked out. Okay. And that's fucking. It's like but the media is a motherfucker. They're worded in a way that'll make you feel like, oh shit, I should give a fuck that a white man is telling me that racism is real. Okay, I knew that already.
Yeah.
You're not telling me no
shit about it. They be so full of shit about it that a motherfucker who stand against the norm go make money off of that shit. Because we live in a what? Capitalistic society. It's a capitalist society. And we be eating that shit up, man. Fuck him, wow.
So the white dude
said, oh, come on, man.
The white dude said, with all these racist white people here, I could make money being a race apologist. So I don't have to do nothing to stop racism. I can just explain what we're doing to them. And here go our dumbasses. Hey, he's telling the truth. He's keeping it real.
And he's still protected by that shit. Fuck you, man. Get your ass out of here. What's the other dude? The Amero cat. What's his name?
Alex Jones.
Yeah, Alex Jones.
Wait, before we get into Alex Jones, the Amero. Now, how did that work with the wall? How did that work with the wall? You like these? See how they play black people? And I remember when I heard that Amero shit, I was like, one of the first things I said was, how the fuck is that going to work when the Mexican economy is lower than Canada's and the United States? I said, at the time, America had the strict weed laws. I said, but Canada's was lax. Then I was like, then what about the power of the money? And then I was like, then we're not going to want the Mexicans to come over and overpopulate over here. I said, that shit ain't going to, how is shit going to work? You're going to have to build up the Mexican economy, if anything, right? I said, but that's not, that don't make sense. Here goes Trump. Those are no, I was like, fuck out of here, Amero. You ain't doing that dumb shit. Now everybody's breaking that Brexit. That global don't work because everybody realized them crackers know they can't compete. All they know how to do is dominate and oppress. That's why it's stupid for you to try to work within your oppressive society. Because once they pull the rug from up under you, you're the only one falling. Nobody else. You know what America saying to China? China said, "Hey, excuse me, you owe me money?" And he said, "Yo, fuck you. I ain't paying you shit." Click. It's like you do with your credit card. When the credit card people call you. And they like, "No, excuse me."
You crazy, man.
I'm with my fucking bread. They like, nigga, I got guns, my nigga. America's gangster. America's gangster. They got the South Street, the Chinese, they trying to be a little gangster. They built a whole fucking island in the middle of the fucking ocean and shit with weaponry and shit out there. And America like, listen, we taking that and you can't come around there no more. And they like, what? Nigga, don't talk to no motherfucker with another nuclear weapon, my nigga. And America said, well, Trump said, nigga, we got nuclear weapons too. We'll fuck you up. And then now China like, nigga, we'll bust our guns too. But then Russia like, nigga, shut the fuck up. So this whole shit is just big talking because it's new. By next year, we're going to forget about all of this shit. And then my prediction is by the end of the next 2 years, everything going to be smooth out. Because all of this extra shit would have died out. Niggas would have. Then you're going to see how all of these white people that's outraged about this, you're going to find out they're really not outraged. They have no problem with this shit. This is what they want. But they're just doing this protest to make the world think, we don't want this crazy shit, as they let it happen. All of this shit is a fucking game, and we're getting caught up in the stupid hoopla of this shit. Because if they wanted any of this shit to stop, they'll let the shit stop. Just like with the judges stopping with the immigration shit. You know what I'm saying? If they wanted anything to stop, they'll let that shit, they'll stop that shit. Anything that passes because they want that shit to pass. So why you protesting? That don't make sense. All that's just a game. All of that's just a game. Like I said, the major game is the game they're going to play in Chicago with the fucking feds. Straight up. If something changed, I'd be shocked.
They they halted the damn travel ban and shit. But I saw that the fucking like 100,000 visas was revoked. So it's like, you know, the plan is always going to move forward. You know, it's just going to change how they present it.
Okay,
you know, it's a lot of backlash, but guess what? You know, okay, you can't travel, but if your visa revoked, you got to come in and either renew or go back. So it's just another way of doing it. You know what I'm saying?
You see what I'm saying? And that's what people don't understand. That's how America works. Look, what we used to say back in the 90s and shit. That's how America works. Ask the Indian. You know what I'm saying? Niggas that hit them with the contract, come over here, Indians, or the Indian men that come sign contract, go back to their fucking homes, their women and children dead. That's the fucking man, yo.
It's fucked up.
That's how you get down. That's how you get down, man. And we fall for this shit every time. Let me tell you, true story. Did I tell you this plenty of times, Smoke? I'm at the gas station. White man, he on the other side of the pump, I'm on the other side of the pump. White man came, he said, "Excuse me, sir, can I ask you a question?" I said, "No, you can't." And I kept pumping. Fuck you. I don't fuck with the white, yo. Y'all fuck with them crackers if you want. I don't fuck with them, yo. I look at them like they're a snake. I see the eye on them. I'm watching your mouth. I'm watching them things. Stay away from me, snake. Y'all the ones that hug them and kiss them and all that shit and get all caught up and wrapped around them and like, oh, my God, they choking me. Nah, I don't get caught up in that. Don't ask me no questions. I ain't having no conversations with you, none of that. Leave me alone. There you go.
I do. Because, well, I feel you, though. I feel you. You definitely got to move smarter and shit, especially when it comes to that.
Let me tell you, I'm the type, because I know how America is. I'm the type, and I've always been the type. If I get a letter in the mail, that shit like, yo, Rasta B, you just won $1 million. Call this number and boom, I rip that shit off. I'm like, yo, America ain't giving me shit. America ain't giving nobody shit. And I'm like, fuck out of here, America. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't play that shit. I don't play that shit, man. That shit, you know, and then that's when they used to come out with the whole shit about the people getting caught with the child support on the TV and shit like that. But I always felt like that because that's how I grew up. That's how I grew up. You don't trust this place. You gotta watch the other side. Every time they do one side, you gotta see the other side, and they'll tell you that shit. That's how wicked they are. They'll tell you that shit. They'll sit there and tell you. I'm watching on the documentary you said 13. Colin Grangle, the nigga gonna say, yeah. Now I know that Ronald Reagan them passed the war on drugs with the in the 3 strikes. I mean with the drug shit, whatever the comment he said. He said the reason why I voted worked with Nancy is because we was working to help the situation and for the kids, and that's the double-edged sword. So these black politicians would work on a bill. That would incarcerate black men, because we're always the sacrificial lamb, is the black man. That would incarcerate black men for more funding for black women to help raise her children. It'll be some shit like that. And then it'll be like, this bill's going to help the black family. And it's like, yeah. Hey, what's over? Why y'all locking me up? It's like, I thought you said it's open to black nigga. It will. Go to jail. 117 years. Yeah, man, that shit crazy.
117. It's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. So that's how I figured shit with that shit. But yeah, this dude, so far, Trump done signed like what, 22 executive actions.
It's 20 at least.
Well, I see at least 22 up here. They said he got one for the reviewing of Wall Street regulations. So he signed 2 actions on Friday that could end up rewriting regulations in the financial institutions that Obama and Congress put in place after the 2008 financial crash. The executive order set core principles of financial regulation, declaring that Trump's administration seeks to empower Americans to make their own financial decisions, prevent taxpayers-funded bailouts, and reduce regulations on Wall Street so U.S. companies can compete globally. It also directs the Secretary of Treasury to review existing regulations on the financial system, determine whether the core principles are being met, and report back to the president in 120 days. Experts worry that loosening regulations could roll back the Obama administration's landmark Customer Protection Reform Bill, Dodd-Frank, aimed at reducing risk in financial system. Senator Elizabeth Warren, the progressive darling from Massachusetts, led the charge of crying to action. Then he got a reviving. Geez. Yeah, then he got a reviewing the fiduciary duty rule. Memorandum directs the Treasury Secretary to review the fiduciary rules, another Obama-era law intended to protect American retirement money from conflicted advice from financial advisors that have long drawn rebuke from Wall Streeters and have scheduled to go into effect in April. If the Secretary finds the rule conflicts with administration's core principles, adversely affects the retirement industry, or cause increased litigations, then he should recommend revising some shit about your retirement. American Heart Month. This is a ceremony that proclaims that Americans to wear red on Friday. Some stupid shit. For new regulations proposed, repeal 2 existing. Okay, this one is for every new regulation that's proposed, 2 existing ones have to be repealed. So that's something that Trump put in. I guess that's a little fair. Drain the swamp, where he have the order requires appointees to every executive agency to sign an ethics pledge saying they will never lobby a foreign government and that they won't do any other lobbying for 5 years after they leave government. But it also loosens some ethics registrations that Obama put in place, decreasing the number of years executive branch employees had to wait since they had been lobbyists from 2 years to 1. Recognizing the national and homeland security. Trump removed the national top military and intelligence adversary as regular attendees of the National Security Council Principals Committee. The executive measure established Trump chief strategist Steve Bannon as a regular attendee. The top. So this is just reorganizing the national and homeland security. So he just wrote that, reorganizing that to his situation. Defeating ISIS, the immigration ban, rebuilding the military, National School Choice Week, build a wall. Trump outlined his intention to build a wall along the U.S. borders of Mexico. The order also directs the immediate detainment and deportation of illegal immigrants, and require states and federal agencies tally up how much foreign aid they are sending to Mexico within 30 days, and tell the U.S. Customs and Border Protection to hire 5,000 additional Border Patrol agents. cutting funding for sanctuary cities, expediting environmental review for infrastructure projects. The order allows governors or heads of federal agencies to request an infrastructure project be considered high priority, so it can be fast-tracked for environmental review. Trump signed the order as the package infrastructure deal along with 3 memorandums on oil pipelines. Approving pipelines. So we already know about it. Reduce regulation for U.S. manufacturing. Trump directed his Secretary of Commerce to review how federal regulations affect U.S. manufacturers with the goal of figuring out how to reduce them as much as possible. Reinstating the Mexico City policy. The move reinstates the global gag rule that bans American non-governmental organizations working abroad from discussing abortion. Democrat and Republican presidents have taken turns reinstating it and getting rid of it since Ronald Reagan created the gag order in 1984. The rule, while widely expected, dismayed women's rights and reproductive health advocates, but encouraged anti-abortion. Hiring freeze. So Trump froze all hiring in the executive branch, excluding the military, directing no vacancies be filled, in an effort to cut government spending on bloat. Union leaders called the action harmful and counterproductive, saying it would disrupt government programs and services that benefit everyone. Out of the TPP, he declaring Trump intentions to repeal the Affordable Care Act, reneged regulatory freeze. Trump Chief of Staff, Reince Priebus, signed this action, directing agencies head not to send new regulatory regulations to the office and the Federal Register until the administration has leaders in place to approve them. Obama Chief of Staff Rahm Emanuel signed a similar memorandum when he took office. In 2009, but as Bloomberg notes, Priebus changed the language from a suggestion to a directive. The action is partly carried out to make sure the new administration wants to implement any pending regulation, the old one with considering. Environmentalists worry if this could mean Trump is about to undo many of Obama's energy regulations. Yeah. It looks like he's about to undo anything that Obama touched.
Yeah.
I had accidentally touched the damn on-screen button, so I got to scroll back down to where I was at. But yeah, he ran through this shit quick as a motherfucker, too, you know what I'm saying? And everybody's just standing there looking at shit. Nobody uproared. All right, where we at? U.S. manufacturing, Mexico City policy, hiring freeze out of the TPP, Affordable Care Act, the regulatory freeze. Oh, yeah, that's it. That is the last one. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Wait, what did I say? Trump to do what? Trump just signed an order that could roll back a rule intended to protect Main Street's retirement money. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, they about to this whole game about to change. You know what I'm saying? Instead of black people worrying about building ourselves up, no, we want to play the damn ritual are parading around in the street with the children who are going to benefit from these rules that's going to be made by their parents, while our kids won't. Our kids going to have to be fighting under these shit. That's what's crazy.
Yeah, well, he got the ball rolling for his agenda. You know what I'm saying? And hey, man, what can you do? What can you do? But keep track of what's happening and see, you know, how you fit within that. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, regardless of what you might be looking at or what you hear, the news, whatever, you know, black people, our goal is to build the economy, a black economy, and sustain that. And from there, we could build our communities up and so forth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But Trump, he wielded his sword.
Yeah, look, find out how all of these deregulations and shit, how you could benefit off of that shit.
Right.
All these red tapes, how you could benefit, because all of these red tapes being removed that everybody's screaming and complaining about, let me tell you right now, all of that's for business. Meaning, take advantage. Get you a business license. Find out how to get a loan through a corporation. Figure that shit out. Straight up. You know what I'm saying? While you can. Build your shit up. Don't sit around there complaining and crying and shit. If you a consumer, you're going to lose. You better be on the business side of the game. Straight up. It's going to be a seller's market. It's going to be a seller's market. You know what I'm saying? You got to get that fucking paper. And what's happening right now is we watching all these blacks that we think give a fuck about us. What they doing is selling out the community. But because the media paints them nice, we think they're speaking for us, and they're not. You know what I'm saying? All them Eric Dysons and all of that shit, they not. They want you to look for good white folks. Cry, tears, a sermon for white America.
Yeah.
Why do we need
Eric Dyson
we need
said
an
pray.
economy.
He said, what you doing times when we're not in power, you have to, buckle down and pray. Get on your knees. Don't work hard.
Get on your knees.
Pray.
Now look at this. On the capitalistic chart, religious people, the pastors, the ministers,
right?
That should say what? We fool you. And that's what's going on. It's time for us to deal with building an economy and getting business up. That's the only way for us to succeed. Look at the situation with the sister Tamron Hall. You know that story?
Yeah, well, she got. Did she get fired?
Yeah, they shut her and Roca. They moved her over for Megyn Kelly.
Yeah.
And she had a top-rated show. And her ratings was top. But this what they don't understand. What we seeing, they been did that. They were starting that shit with on CNN. CNN had a whole change up. They started eliminating a lot of the black men. That's why they only got gay black men on there. But they started eliminating all of the black men. And if you look at CNN, like I don't watch it now, you know what I'm saying, because I don't watch the TV and shit. But if you look at CNN, you shouldn't see that. You're not going to see that many black people. You see what I'm saying? They're doing that with all of the television. They're going to slowly whitewash it. All of this is restructuring again. All of this is restructuring again. This shit is too black. It's too ethnic. It's too diverse. It's too much. The crack is they're trying to get back their shit again. So everything is slowly changing. And this is why I keep telling black people, stop following these silly-ass liberals. Because they're going to fall in line. And you're going to be stuck with the fucking potato. You know what I'm saying? Like if this was hot potato. You know what I'm saying? And it's like we can't afford to play that game. They're allowing this to happen. No, let me just say this one point. I'm about to twist the flip. But they're allowing this shit to happen. It's good cop, bad cop. They're allowing this shit to happen, and then they got another set of them that's playing with your head and got you thinking, okay, so what I should do? While they're still working over here doing the shit. They got the other one distracted. And you're confused because you're trying to figure out, wait, so who should I listen to and who's bad again and what should I be doing again? And when you should not be paying attention to neither one. They're the same. They're part of the same snake. Go ahead, Phil.
No, I was just gonna say, like, you know, when you speak of, you know, the whitewashing of the media, and you know, the examples you just used, you know, that itself is an opportunity presented, you know, for us. You know what I'm saying? So we need our own news outlet. Let's work on that. So that's our opportunity.
But that's the business community.
People that's exactly.
That's the business community again.
Exactly.
That's the business community because that's advertisement.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's the black business community. That's where we're fucking up at. You sound breaking up?
No, I said which is economics. All that ties.
Oh yeah, which is economics. Yeah. But that's where we messing up at. We got to connect the black business community. The black business community have to connect. That's how we cut the lights on for a black economy. Because if they don't connect, then it's not going to work. If they connect, guess what? They can come together to do, because it's funded. It's advertising. You see what I'm saying? It's all advertising. The advertisement is how you keep them going on with the programming and shit. So it's like, if they're not flexing their muscle, that's where a lot of this shit, it don't connect that. You know what I'm saying? Why it seems like it's so hard. You know what I'm saying? We keep asking the consumers, but it's the black business class. That's what we have to work on. To figure that shit out, where they at, what they doing.
I mean, real on that point, man. You got to figure this shit out, man. Businesses got to come together. And we got to fucking change our fucking personal mind frame and move away from the narrative. You know what I mean? Speaking on the media, we need to fucking use the media for what it is. You know what I mean? It's like we can't have that shit molding our perception. You know, I understand people, you know, I watch news and watch all that shit, you know, and you get the information you need from it, but you can't have it mold your perception and change your perception. You have to use your two eyes, use your third eye, and determine what's going on out here. You know what I'm saying? But it all goes back to changing the narrative and building the black economy.
Yeah, but break that shit down. Don't just because they said it. Break that shit down. You know what I'm saying? And think that to yourself. I was looking on YouTube. They were talking about this brother named Craig Hodge. You ever heard about his name?
The basketball player, Craig Hodge.
Yeah.
He used to play for the Bulls. He was a shooter. He was a good player.
Yeah. I ain't never, you know me, I ain't no sports person, so I seen they said that he had an interview, like, after 20 years later after being banned from the NBA. So I was like, damn, what he do? You know what I'm saying? So I seen his story, and it's interesting because the brother grew up pro-black basketball player. They win the championship or whatever with MJ, and so he says since he's going to the White House and that's the royal, royal place or whatever, special place or whatever. Like he said, I'm gonna wear my special garment. So he went there in the dashiki. Played, shot some basketball and shit with George Washington. With first Daddy Bush, right? Then he said George Bush seen his dashiki and said, "Nice dashiki." You know what I'm saying? He said he went and wrote a letter, sent it to his secretary press or whatever, or whoever, or maybe VP or whoever, and the letter got to George Bush or whatever. But when he did that, the NBA banned him. You see what I'm saying? And the letter he was trying to give to Bush was what? To fix the black community.
Yeah.
George Bush, the first George Bush, what is he? Republican. What are we acting now with Trump?
NBA champion.
No, but what I'm saying is, but watch this. What are we trying to ask Trump now? We need the resources now to help. This is the stuff that we need in our communities, right? Now watch this. I've been saying when Trump and Hillary was in the race, I said, I really hope Trump wins, because if Trump wins, pro-blackness, buy black, support black, this movement is going to keep going. It's not going to die. But if Hillary wins, it's going to die. Because we had this pro-black spirit under Reagan. We had this pro-black spirit under first George Bush. And then it started to die after the first Clinton. And then this damn sure that second half of that Clinton was dead. Right. And then we woke up, then we started feeling the burn again for the second Bush. And then we fell back to sleep again for Obama. Now we're waking up again, seeing the turmoil our community is in, the real condition of our peoples, and now the smart of us is asking for assistance with the problems that's in our community. The silly of us is getting mad at them. Like, that shit is so weird.
Damn cool.
Like that shit is, that shit is so weird. I'm a coon because I'm going to go to the president with a plan for my fucking community. I'm a coon. But when Barack Obama had Black History Month events at the White House, you know what they were? Concerts and plays and parties and celebrations. That's what we had. We didn't have agendas. So when niggas are still killing themselves and all kind of shit, come on, man. We got to stop playing games, man, and always celebrating some shit. What the fuck are we celebrating? What the fuck are we celebrating? We ain't got no economy. What are we celebrating? I ain't never seen people celebrate as much as black people. What the hell is we dancing and cheering for? Like, I don't understand this shit. And we gonna see that shit, yo. We gonna see that shit. If Donald Trump already running around doing what he's doing and showing his thuggery, and y'all calling Donald Trump a madman, y'all need to question all of those liberal whites and all of those middle-class blacks who are disregarding basically the threat that Trump put on Chicago, the black people of Chicago. Straight up. The threat. The nigga straight up said, yo, if y'all don't do something about that, yeah, we're going to bring the cowboys down there. We're going to bring the real. We're going to bring the, you know what I'm saying? It's like, come on, man. And like I said, I don't know. I've never been to Chicago. I don't know what the Chicago struggle is. You know what I'm saying? But I know in New York, ain't nothing like looking at that paper and seeing 100 niggas out of one fucking building. Niggas just throwing niggas and, like, lining niggas up. Look like straight up like a goddamn slavery picture going straight on the boat. Chain. If you was born during a certain year and you free, you lucky. That's how they was just snatching black men up. So for them to turn around and do that now, it's crazy. It's crazy. So that's what's going to happen, man. And it's going to be a tragedy if we do see some crazy shit happen with the Chicago situation and then the media try to use that against Trump. That's going to be wicked because you can't blame Trump. You dig what I'm saying, Smoke? If I tell you to do something and you don't do it, and if I say, if you don't do this, there's going to be the repercussion, I gave you a chance. You can't blame nobody but yourself now. So you got to start to question the people that are telling you not to do it.
Yeah, I mean, it was the inevitable anyway for Chicago. I mean, what else was going to happen? You got 700 murders. 700. And it went up 50-something% from the prior year. It was only getting worse out there. What you think going to happen eventually?
You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers, what, they still wanting to keep it.
I mean, the sad part really is that for it to really even be conversations about that, when we coming off 8 years of president, 8 years of a black president, for it to even be a threat coming from a fucking president, the current president,
Chicago's own.
Chi-Town's finest. You know what I'm saying? And it's taking a threat from damn Trump for people to even have a conversation about Chicago is sad. Where was the leaders before that? Where was the leaders that, you know, the prior 8 years? Shit, the prior 100 years, 50 years, you know what I'm saying? Like, where they at, man? People been killing the community. And Chicago ain't nothing different. We was in New York when New York was fucking, you know, killer central. You know what I'm saying? When Brooklyn was Crooklyn, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know the numbers from that exact time, but shit, they was high for that time.
I'll tell you what.
So,
but them niggas got swept up. That's that Giuliani.
Exactly. That's what happened. That's what happened.
Up. And that's what I'm telling you, Chicago. Y'all don't want
same
that.
Same shit happened in L.A. All them gangs.
Same shit happened in L.A.
Going down. It happens everywhere. And Chicago is not. But Chicago is on steroids. Chicago is on steroids. So there's so much shit that's going to happen out there. Mad careers is going to get built off of the takedown of Chicago. And we mentioned that shit on the show maybe a little over a month ago. You know what I'm saying? We mentioned Chicago is got to be there.
I didn't even think about that. They might create 3 fucking Giulianis. And, yo, niggas better be glad Giuliani was not on fucking fucking that man. Yo,
bro,
straight
he'll
up.
show you how to do it.
Man.
He'll show you how to do it.
Y'all better be
show you how to do it,
Trump. Man, Trump ain't that crazy. If Trump would have put then Giuliani on his goddamn team, trust everybody would be getting stopped and frisked. Y'all laughing about that grabbing pussy. Everybody would have got stopped and frisked.
Straight up.
Everybody was getting stopped and frisked, man. And that's what I'll be laughing, too, about the whole shit with the Muslim ban and all that bullshit like that, and how black people and we all fucking get up. Fuck that. I'm not worried about none of that shit because, again, stop and frisk, who that target? Black people. Straight up. You know what I'm saying? Goddamn, sagging pants law, who that target? Black people. Loitering and all that shit, come on, man. Come on. We got all kind of shit that targets us. When your child go to school and shit like that, the special ed shit, like Umar talked about, that when your child go to school, they got the fucking laws where they don't talk about, oh, this is the school's dress code policy. No braids. No boy's hair can go longer than his shirt. Shut the fuck up. And then here go black. See, that's that Christianity God shit. So here go people. They'll read it and be like, oh my God, but they said that they're not the police. This is some shit they wrote on a fucking computer and printed it out. This chick get drunk on the weekend. I'm not listening to what they say about my child. Get out of here. Hit them with religion. Boom. They can't. That's your protection. With Rasta, I thought you said you don't do all that God shit. I don't. But guess what? I know how this country is. I'm hitting them with religion. Boom. That's it. I can't. Hey, religious reasons.
Strategy.
That's it.
Strategy. That's all that is. You tell a lie any other time, right? So why not now?
It's strategy. No, it's not even a lie. It's a strategy, right? Like you said, but it's just like you playing a game. That's it. It's a game. They told you that it's a game. You know when they told you that it's a game? They told you it's a game during the O.J. Simpson trial. That's how you niggas should have realized this whole shit is a game. Because when O.J. beat them, when Johnny Cochran did it, was finagling them, what the cracker said? He's playing the race card. That's Uno. What, like the race card? What the fuck card is he thinking about? That was the revelation. Oh shit! Card. What talking about? We have a deck of cards you can play? Yeah. This whole shit is a fucking game, you idiot. But we taking this shit like it's real. That's why we losing, because we don't want to, we don't want to be strategic against nobody. We don't want to be looked at like we're being cutthroat and conniving. You know what I'm saying? Just like you ever heard somebody say, when they talk about, you ever read the 48 Laws of Power? And they're like, evil. You ever heard somebody say that?
No, not evil, no.
I heard somebody say that before, and I was like, evil? I'm like, why would you say?
Why they say that?
I get it.
I guess you can manipulate somebody or something like that.
Yeah, so it's like, this is how, like, the funny thing about 48 Laws of Power, I ain't grow up reading that book, but I grew up living the rules. Coming up in Brooklyn as a kid, single-parent household, 4 kids in a 1-bedroom apartment, you know what I'm saying, with my mother and stuff in Brooklyn. And then coming down to Georgia and having to learn how to hustle and things of this nature. You know what I'm saying? You had to learn people. You had to learn people's nature. You had to study shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you had to, you know what I'm saying, figure shit out. Look, let me tell you, I used to be so nice that I could tell you what I'm about to I'm talking about as a kid. I used to tell people, I'm going to tell you exactly what's going to happen if I do this one thing. And the person would be like, yeah, right. And I'll do that one thing, and that whole event I said will play out just like that. You know what I'm saying? So one event happened like that with this. I was like maybe 12. So I had to get a paper towel and bring it to school, right? That's when they started to be like, y'all got to bring a paper towel to school. So we poor, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, Mom, I got to bring a paper towel. She's like, well, I ain't got no money for no paper towel. So So me and my brother and my friends, we walk into the store and stuff. So I go to the corner store and I get a brown paper bag for the gas station. So we go into the grocery store. This before the cameras and stuff. So I was like, so they were like, what you got the bag for? So I said, well, I'm going to walk around the store with the brown paper bag. That way everybody in the store thinks that I came in to the store with something. Then I'm going to put the paper towel in the brown paper bag, walk around some more. Then we're going to stop at the newspaper. Then we're going to leave. And that way nobody can mess with us because they're going to think we walked in with it. So I walked in. I did exactly that. And then as I'm walking out, the security guard came up. And he was like, excuse me, sir, come here. He was like, hey, y'all come here. Whatever. So he turned around, like, yeah. So he's like, y'all walked out with that. I said, walked out with what? He said, with that paper towel. I said, no, I walked in with this. He was like, no, I seen you leave with that. He was like, let me see a receipt. I said, a receipt? I said, I'm a kid. Who keeps a receipt? You know what I'm saying? So, like, as he's looking at me, right? And I'm fresh from New York, but I'm a kid from New York. You know what I'm saying? And this is like down south in like 1991 in Georgia. You know what I'm saying? This is before how it is right now. So, like clockwork, another guy ran out. So he said, "Hey, no, I see them. They came in with that." But he looking like, I know they lying, but I can't prove it.
You know can't prove that.
And I walked out. You know what I'm saying? And everybody's like, oh, and I was like, that's what's gonna happen. I told you. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you can work shit like that sometimes. You know what I mean? You can work shit like that because everything could fall in line. It's a game. Like you would be amazed. It's a game. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like
strategy and you played it out. You know what I'm saying?
And that's how this shit is. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's how this shit is. Remember that time when Grave when we went to that party with Grave and stuff, and then it was like me, you, Matal, and we were all standing at the wall waiting for Grave, and then they had them girls way on the other side of the party.
He never came back and shit.
They never came back. And it's like, it seemed like the girls just kept getting closer and closer, but they never walked.
Right.
It just seemed like every time you blink, it was like, damn, am I tripping? But it's like, well, they're getting closer and closer, but it's like we're not even moving. You see what I'm saying? We standing here, but it's just like, it just seemed like they just was getting closer, like their table. Like the shit was just crazy, and it was like, damn, how the hell they get over here? So it's like sometimes you can control the trajectory of your reality. You know what I'm saying? If you know how to do that shit, you know what I'm saying? So
right.
It's like, But yeah, Smoke, man, shit. It's a long day, boy. I'll tell you that much, man. It's a long day. I just be trying to figure out. New little things I'm trying to work on. You know, I'm looking at P-Hot on the penny stock. I started noticing found out of them. They're talking about the penny stock and stuff now.
Oh yeah, I didn't see that.
Yeah, I ran across something about that. But yeah, I was looking at P-Hot and shit. I see they starting to do a nice little bubble. So I think they had like a TV run. I wonder how them.
I saw that. Cause see, like, yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that because they was they have been mentioning that Grow Cube, and like, you know, I've been seeing like a lot of people like on the boards. And like mentioned about, I want to say I saw Marco Hedgie, I think his name is, the CEO, or whatever, talk about the Grow Cube, which is like a package that's, you know, it's pretty much a set package where you get everything, all in one package with you know, a grower's kit pretty much, and they got all levels, It's called like the Grow Cube, like a beginner's level for growing and so forth and so on, with tents and grow lights, whatever you need.
Yeah.
And so I saw the video, and so in the video they got the guy inside the store saying, like, the Grow Cubes is what people want. You know what I mean? It's like they're coming in with the setup already, and they interviewed had a quick interview with a guy in there. He was like a grower, and he was pretty much saying that, he pretty much got where he was because of dealing with people in that store and buying the products and so forth. So it was like something positive to see because, especially checking the message boards, there was a lot of people saying they didn't hear nothing about the Grow Cube, that it was a bunch of BS, ain't no sales for it. So now to see that it actually is something there, and and it's interest for it. I mean, we already know the marijuana industry is, it's on the cusp of booming nationwide at some point. So, you know what I mean? It's like, that was good to see, what I'm saying?
Under an unregulated Trump administration.
Wow. Yeah.
Like, I really think if once all of this shit finish and they don't do everything that they're doing, if these niggas was to turn around and be like, yo, and we're going to allow the marijuana shit to go, man, that shit going to take off. If he say
you already know
anything negative about marijuana, that shit going to crash. That's going to be fucked up on.
Yeah, I hope
right
not.
now, everything's regulated. Yeah, everything's deregulated. All these regulations he letting go, shit. Motherfuckers should be being able to use all of that. So, if I do have any money left over after I deal with the pipes and the damn paying this high-ass water bill, then I might try to squeeze a little couple of dollars in, give me another 100 shares or at least another 50. You know what I'm saying? 50,000.
Yeah. I hear that.
I figure shit. I figure if I had 200,000 shares, if it at 1 cent, if it goes to 50 cents, I'll have $100,000. So.
Yeah, you in the game.
Yeah. So.
In the game.
Hey, that's how you have to work the system in Black America. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, and that symbol is PHOT. PHOT.
Yeah, PHOT.
So, you know what I'm saying? Go research that joint. It's about the
views and opinions.
About a penny. You know what I'm saying? A little over a penny right now. So it could be a nice return for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, don't take the words serious. Do your own research, diligence, the views, opinions, the views.
Just a fan. All right.
Just opinions. But yeah, check all of that out. You know what I'm saying? But that's how you get paper. You know what I'm saying? This is a capitalistic society. Just like Tamron said. If you can't get no money in the world this big, you're worthless, kid. And you don't deserve to live. This is capitalistic society. You got to get money. Stop being a consumer and spending money. That doesn't make sense. You're always going to stay trapped. If you're in the go to the big table, you got to get your money up. You got to get your bread up. You see what I'm saying? Straight up, that's what you got to do. Tamron Hall and all of them out there, they're working for the society, and they be in the face. But guess what? They get replaced too. So that lets you know that they're temporary. They're not permanent. They're temporary. All those black faces temporary. They're scared. They're gonna do and say whatever to stay there, and they're still temporary. So don't look to them as your examples, and don't look to them as your reality, because that's temporary. Your reality is what happens when you cut the TV off, when you cut the radio off, when you get out the club. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. That's what you got to worry about, your reality. Because we keep worrying about this temporary shit. Just like I said, even with the Tim Wise situation, we'll sit there and listen to white people tell us to explain to us about racism in a polite way or whatever. Like, that's supposed to mean some shit. You're not coming with no solution. Is he coming with a solution, Tim Wise? Is he coming up with a foundation to funnel money to help the poor community? So it's like, why? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand. Like, black people, with Tim Wise and Tim Wise, who gives? All right. So the devil told you he's wicked. Now what? Now what? I don't understand. And we just get duped into this because we don't look at it in the way, just like Jadakiss said. And you know, and I'm probably gonna quote it wrong, so correct me if I know you know how to go. The shit where he'd be like, where he'd be like, if you half nice, what's the nigga say? Some shit like if you
only half nice, that means you halfway.
Yeah. So then, that's how you have to look at life. You see what I'm saying? That's how you have to look at it. You can't look at life as half nice. You have to look at the half whack stuff. Because that's how that's what you got to fix.
Yeah.
For it to be better. You dig what I'm saying? So when you're looking at this white man telling you, and this is going to be the barometer, when you're listening to this white man tell you and explaining to you racism, something that you already understand, ask him, so what is the solution then? What do you think? What would you do to fix my situation? Why? Don't quiz me about this shit, my nigga. I lived it. You dig what I'm saying? If you listening to people tell you, don't to the president, turn around and say, look at them and see, is your people speaking to the president? Because if they are, you can't tell me to tell my people not to speak to the president. Because the head person of Planned Parenthood, with all of the white women out there with pussy on their head and they running around talking about my body, my rights, my choice, and all that other bullshit, guess what? She's speaking to the president. So even though they're out there protesting, the head of Planned Parenthood is still fucking with Trump. That's the illusion of fucking America. That's why I keep trying to explain. It's illusion. That's the illusion. These white people will go out there and protest just because it's Wednesday. And here go black people. Oh, what we marching for? Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, give me the flag. Like, come on, get moved. That have nothing to do with you. That have nothing to do with you. And then when everybody disappears and go away, everybody gets the rights that their group fought for, while black people sitting around saying, I thought y'all said we not going to talk to Trump. How y'all get on y'all doing this? No, nigga, we told you not to talk to Trump. We told you that shit. And we fall for that shit every time.
Every single time.
You know what I'm saying? That shit crazy. And I see that shit, and that shit's sad. And like I said, if the feds end up having to run up in Chicago and they do a sweep, I don't want to hear no crap. Straight up. I don't want to hear none of the motherfuckers on television. None of that shit. I don't want to hear no blaming Trump. None of that shit. Because if the story was the shot callers, the gang leaders, spoke to this brother and said, if we can organize a body drop, then that we can issue in. Let's use that to issue in some social programs. Let's use that narrative so we can do that. You see what I'm saying? Maybe he's thinking, if I can get that bread, then I can use the bread automatically to try to curb it by getting the young boys off the streets. Like, hey, come over here. We got these programs. We got this boxing gym. We're gonna fund this. We got these programs after school now. Y'all can come inside here. Y'all can eat. You know what I'm saying? Y'all could. You know what I'm saying? I got a place where y'all can shelter yourself and that'll lower the crime and the tension and feed a lot of these hungry bodies and give them something in focus and direction. You see what I'm saying? But what happens?
Right.
Silly media, silly black people, we start to clown that. No, I'm sick of being a clown. I'm sick of being a clown. I'm sick of every time we saying some shit, motherfuckers want to laugh and shit like that. I'm sick of that shit. Because I don't hear nobody complaining and criticizing whatever the Mexican who I know spoke to, lobbyist group spoke to damn Trump. The women's group, like I said, the Planned Parenthood chick. Uber them. That's why everybody got mad at Uber, because Uber them signed up with the whole Trump. Everybody lined up with Trump. The media got all these black people out here thinking everybody hating Trump. All of this business, is lined up with Trump. Samsung is about to come back to America. You dig what I'm saying? The media is doing the same shit they did with the Hillary running and losing and everybody thinking one thing is another thing happening. They're doing the same shit right now. Making him look like a clown and like he's failing and shit when really he's doing what they want. But they making everybody think they're outraged. So it's like, I can't believe he's doing this, not me.
Yeah.
But in all actuality,
on the inside,
so that's the case.
Balloons and poppers going
that shit
on, fireworks. Trump.
You know what I'm saying?
On the inside.
No. You know, like, Trump. You come in, you say, Trump, y'all cheering for Trump? No, we said, Trump. Like, oh. My bad, I thought you said Trump. Then they leave and shit, and they, Trump. These motherfuckers are Trump. They're for Trump, but see, they control the media. They control the media, so we watch the media, and they'll say, Donald Trump, look, here, watch this, Smoke. Donald Trump lost the popular vote. Here goes Donald Trump. I did? The chick says, I won the fuck. What the fuck y'all talking about? And I won the pot. They like, nigga, shut up. The media always tell the people a different story. Here go Donald Trump. Hey, you know what? This must be some voter fraud because I'm looking at the numbers and it clearly shows that I won. Fucking all the people voted for me. Why every time I come to the TV, it keeps saying I lost. What the fuck is going on? And they like, shut up.
Fake news. I don't watch CNN.
That shit is so crazy, yo. They telling you. Telling you right here. The niggas told you it's a game with the race card. They're telling you right now the news is fucking fake as shit. They're telling you all kind of shit to fuck up your head. And we just fucking And the funny shit about it is this is how we'll go. We'll go like this. We'll say, oh my God, I can't believe Hillary lost. And hear the news. How did we miss it? They have a whole story about how did they miss that Hillary loss, and I'm like, and now they got this whole shit now about Donald Trump and all this other shit, and I'm like, y'all still following the news after they led y'all on with the Hillary shit? After I've been screaming, I didn't watch the news, and I'm telling you, the pulse of the community, Trump is gonna win, And then when I cut on the TV, that's the only time I feel like Hillary's going to win. Is when the TV is on. Come on.
Yeah. She had it in the bag according to that shit. But we know how that played out.
See how that played out. And the same shit happening right now. And some people asking the question, like I said, the black chick that was on Roland Martin's show, she was like, yo, if y'all crying Chuck Schumer and all y'all Democrats and y'all saying that y'all don't want this to happen, but y'all rolling them through. They not getting no heart. They ain't getting stopped. Like, what the fuck is going on? That's because y'all stupid-ass black people is playing the game with the white people. Y'all not playing for keeps. Y'all want to play together. No. And that's why what Michael Eric Dyson is doing is wrong. Looking for good white folks. Cornel West is wrong. Looking for good white folks. No. I'm not looking for I'm looking for black people to build my economy up with. Fuck these good white people. I'm not looking for them. Good white people probably just like good white cops. They not going to take the tail on the bag. No, I'm not worrying about that. Because, like I said, if you want to know who the good white people are, look for them when you got an economy. Look at them. Look for those white people when you have an economy and you have a police force that protects you. And you have you know what I'm saying? When you walk down your street, you feel safe. And now you start to grow a spine and walk up high and have pride because now you have something to protect and claim as yours. And then you see white people for really who they are and what they have. And who, you know what I'm saying, and the talent that they don't have. And then you'll turn around and say, oh, okay, so this is who y'all are. Yeah, right. Nah, let's still be friends. Hey, why are you frowning so much? Why you don't want to hang around me anymore? That's when you're going to realize who your good white friend is. You see what I'm saying? People that just smile in your face don't mean that they like you. They got people that just hang around you just to twist. Yeah, it's like you don't get that. There's people that are just hang around you just to use you, just to take your energy, just to goddamn, you know what I'm saying? Like, just weird. Like, so that don't mean nothing.
Fucking vampires.
Yeah, they're vampires. They're just gonna suck your energy. That's what they do. They just suck all your energy out, and then they go into somebody else, and then suck on energy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's the whole shit, you know. And it's like we got to figure this shit out because the thing of the matter is, like I said, it's the whole 20-year shit. I'm 36. You know what I'm saying? 4 more years, I'm going to be 40. 4 more years, it's going to be 2020. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be another 20 years. 40 times 2 is 2020. And I know in 2019, everybody's going to be screaming about 2020 because in 1999, everybody was screaming about Y2K.
Y2K, yeah.
And 2000 plus 20 is 2020. So we already know that in 2019, everybody's going to be screaming, oh, look, and look what Trump is doing. Oh, we got to, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. Look where we are. We're in war and all kind of shit. And look, it's 2020, and oh, this is going to happen. And we're going to go through all that same old shit. And that's why I be saying, I feel like this shit is repeating itself. I'm starting to see the same shit again. And what I said, every 20 years they do it again. I'm 40 now, but I was born with my eyes open. You dig what I'm saying? So that's why I'm saying I'm seeing this shit happen. That's why I'm able to be like, yo, okay. Oh, yeah. And that's why I'm thinking this is going to be a 3-term Republican shit. Straight up.
I can see that. I can definitely see that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, man. Shit, we can go ahead and shut it down, man. And, you know what I'm saying? Thank you, fans and all, for listening. Perspective.
Another
and
year.
Understand that. Oh, yeah, this is the
you done touched the year out this piece. Yeah, so
yeah.
It's good to keep it.
And the numbers,
you know, to have it going for a year, and a whole year perspective, man. That's crazy. Can definitely reflect back on that. Numbers don't lie. That's what's up, though.
Numbers looking good, man. You know what I'm saying? Definitely share the word, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, the perspective, man, is just another viewpoint, you know what I'm saying, than what the media is trying to give you to spin. Like I said, my shit a lot of times is always going to be probably different than what everybody's thinking, but write that shit down, put that shit in an envelope, man, and check that shit out later and see if that shit happened or not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
That's definitely.
Anything else, Lord?
Nah, but yeah, a year in this piece. Go back and check the archives. There's been some good shit we said, you know, some things that came to fruition, you know what I'm saying, some different perspectives, but
Word.
You know what I'm saying? Thank you to the listeners, man. Thank you to the listeners, you know what I'm saying? Thank you for everybody who called in, you know what I'm saying, who took the time to play it back, who listened live, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to y'all, you know what I'm saying?
Word up. And definitely listen to the archives. Go to that YouTube page and subscribe. In Black America Radio. Yeah, listen to the old shows. You know what I'm saying? Listen to the old shows on the Blog Talk Radio. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't gonna see me on Facebook, man. I ain't fucking on Facebook. Fuck Facebook. You know what I'm saying? Sick of Facebook and they
Facebook jail. Facebook prison.
Yeah, I changed that shit to Bobby Black. You know what I'm saying? So that it stuck. And I'm like, man, I want that shit to be Bobby Black. So I think I just want to curse Facebook out. Maybe they'll block it and then just cut the shit off. Say fuck it.
Right.
Follow us on Instagram.
Yo, you know. IG lit.
Yeah, but you fuck with the IG, right?
Yeah, I'll be on there. We got quite a few followers from, you know, like the Facebook list already. You know what I'm saying? And like, you know, others did join on. You know what I'm saying? I really need to start finding some, you know, joints to start posting on it. Really need to do the memes, you know what I'm saying? Like, start getting on the memes and shit. So,
you do that shit, man. I used to do that. I used to run around. Yeah, I used to run around on that Facebook hard, man, but I'm tired of that social media shit. So you
I like
that
Instagram,
IG
man.
shit. Yeah.
Like
fuck with that IG shit, man. And get that shit lit, man. Shit, maybe, I don't know, if I stumble on it and I see it makes sense, then I might fuck with it. But right now, I'm done with all that shit. I'm done with all that shit, but you know what I'm saying? But yo, y'all check out definitely the YouTube and stuff. I always, you know, post up these shows and stuff. Check that shit out, share it, you know what I'm saying, pass it around, listen to the old shows and check it out. Maybe y'all might even hear the slow progression when I was talking about the whole Trump winning and you know, the whole, because it's not just me saying Trump winning, it's me having a whole long diatribe about why I think he's going to win and the benefits and what happened if he wins, well, you know what I'm saying, things of this nature, you know what I'm saying, to see if what I said came out into fruition, you know what I'm saying? But until then, shit, we'll be back again tomorrow, Saturday, you know what I'm saying, day before the Super Bowl, you know what I'm